We're going to take a trip. We're going to start out the seminar by taking a trip. We're going to go to Tennessee. We're going to go to the western part of the state. We're going to go to Memphis. How many people have ever been to Memphis? Memphis, Tennessee, great town, especially if you love barbecue, if you love live music, and of course if you love Elvis. So in Memphis, we're going to go to the corner of Marshall and Union Street, and we're going to visit this building, Sun Studios. Inside is the main studio, and right about the center of the floor, there is an X. And I think that everybody who works in the DJ industry, anybody who makes money playing recorded music, should visit this room and should stand on that X at some point. Did you do it, Mario? You're shaking your head like you did.
I was young when I was
okay, the Sun Studio tour is fantastic, and this spot, as far as I'm concerned, is the mecca of popular music over the last 60 years. So we'll tell you a quick story about that day, because just like a lot of things involved with pop music, there are a few coincidences and a few twists of fate that, had they not happened, maybe all of recorded music over the last 60 years might have been different. It's July of 1953, and a young Elvis Presley walks into Sun Studio, and he says, I want to record a song for my mama's birthday. Now, there's a number of facts that have come to light recently that prove that Elvis was probably lying when he said that. Number one, this was July. Elvis's mother's birthday is in April. I don't know about you, I consider myself a great son. I don't think about my mom's birthday that far in advance. But okay, let's say Elvis is the greatest son ever and he's thinking about his mom's birthday year-round. Problem number two, Elvis wanted to record a song for his mama, put it on a record. The Presley household was pretty impoverished. They didn't even have a record player. So more than likely, Elvis was hoping to get his big break that day, because Sun Studios was a recording studio, but there was also a record label, Sun Records. So if Elvis was hoping to get his break, he was hoping that Sam Phillips, the owner of Sun Studios, was there. Unfortunately, he was not. Elvis was greeted by this woman, Marion Keisker. Marion was basically the office manager at Sun Studios. She did the book. She could set somebody up in the studio, but this is very important. One of Marion's jobs was not to look for talent. She was not a talent scout. So Marion got Elvis set up and recorded the song, and she did something that day that she said she never did before and never did since. She was so impressed with this young man's voice that when she took the acetate and made him a record, she also made a second copy, and later, when Sam Phillips came back, she played it for him and said, boss, I think you should get in touch with this guy. So let's talk about Sam Phillips. He's the owner of Sun Studios. He's also the owner of Sun Records. Very famously, about a year before he met Elvis Presley, he said, if I could find a white man who had the Negro sound and the Negro feel, I could make $1 billion. That was his prediction, $1 billion. We'll see in a second how he does with that prediction. So he listens to the acetate. He's really impressed with Elvis Presley. He gets him back into the studio. They do some work, and the first couple of times they get together, they just can't get the magic. He knows there's something there, but they just can't get the magic. And one night they're working, and he says, you know what? Sam says, let's take a break, clear the air. We're going to go out for a cigarette. Let's chill for a little bit. And in that time, Elvis picks up a guitar and starts playing a Billy Kudrick song called That's All Right, and that's the sound that Sam Phillips was looking for. This song, That's All Right.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right for you.
So Phillips is impressed. He said, that's it. That's the sound we've been looking for. Because he owns the studio as well as the label, he is able to press this song and get it out to the radio stations the very next day. He gives it to Dewey Phillips, who is a local Memphis radio DJ. He's got a show, a nightly show, 2-hour show called Red, Hot, and Blue. He gives him the record. He says, this is a new artist. I think you'll like it. Dewey Phillips plays it once on his radio show. He gets so many calls, he has to play it 14 times in those 2 hours. 14 times. They knew they had a hit, okay? As we all know, Elvis, his contract gets bought out, right? Everybody knows that. RCA Victor came. Did he get his $1 billion? No. He got $40,000 from RCA Victor, bought out the Elvis Presley contract. We know what happened to Elvis, right? He goes on to become this huge success, worldwide success, but still, as I said, there's coincidences. I think back to that day, and what if Marion Keisker had been distracted? What if there was Facebook? What if she was just surfing the internet while Elvis was in there? She might never have heard that sound, and like I said, all pre-recorded music over the last 60 years might be different.
The music